The drugs began around age 12. I started experimenting with alcohol. And
with whom?
A couple of classmates that I had went in from elementary school to junior high with.
Mm-hmm. So 12 years old. Was it something you began out of curiosity or
it was
recreational?
It was a mix of curiosity.
Pressure.
It was a mix of everyone else is doing it.
Would you say you were insecure?
Definitely.
About? Because you gorgeous girl. I'm sitting here looking at you. I'm like...
There's definitely physical insecurity, but a lot of mental anguish. At 12, I drank till I threw up.
Mm-hmm.
And
the first time?
The first time.
Okay.
And we had gotten 40s at a bodega, like every...
Wait, at 12?
At 12.
What neighborhood was that?
Well, yeah.
and let's call the police. And they would give it to
They would give it to a 16, 18-year-old who would give it to us.
Mm-hmm.
We'd throw them a little extra cash or buy them one.
Okay.
And the other times we used alcohol, we stole, liquor from our parents' cabinets and things like that. We would plan a sleepover, make sure her mom thought she was at my house, my mom thought she was at her house.
But where would you guys be?
And we would be at someone else's house who had a parent who really didn't care.
And that parent knew you were 12, basically underage.
Yes. I know very young girls from the Narcotics Anonymous program that I attend that prostituted themselves at 12.
You would never do that?
I never did that.
Okay.
And what we like to say is anything you didn't do is a yet. Because if I ever pick up again, the chances of me doing it are pretty great. The first time I smoked weed was to get attention from a guy, which sounds really stupid. And my thinking really was twisted.
No, it doesn't sound stupid.
Okay.
No. Come on. This is the Marcus show.
In retrospect.
Okay. This is not Dr. Phil. This is the Marcus show, right? So you did it for him. With him, for him?
For him in the sense that he had always liked that I hadn't done anything and I was innocent in his eyes. As soon as I smoked, I knew that I was going to try blow. Weed was more accessible than alcohol.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And now I'm showing my age and my inexperiencedness. Okay. How so?
How? You have to get somebody who's older to agree to purchase alcohol for you. Or you have to steal it. That risk is large. You have a guy standing on the corner across the street from school, jumping in and out of cars. He doesn't ask your age. All he asks is for the
money
green.
and with that, yeah.
That's
that
it.
Moolah.
Yeah.
That moolah. Were you lacing it with marijuana or were you sniffing?
No, you don't lace coke with weed. It would be the reverse.
Oh, okay. Once again, okay. Yeah. No, don't say my own show. Damn, man.
I don't want you giving out misinformation.
I shave my beard off, my mustache, chop myself, Steve down. But okay.
I believe I'm an addict head to toe. Even now, I can't walk into DSW and not get 2 pairs of shoes. Like, that's just how I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we both addicts in that sense. You can't take me to Nike or the boutique. Okay.
And that's the thing. Everyone thinks...
Or the supermarket.
Everyone thinks, well, I have an addictive personality, or I've had low self-esteem at one point, or I've had this. And those are all things that every human, I believe, experiences. Addiction, an addict, is on that next level because it becomes obsessive and compulsive. I was 15 when I tried it the first time.
Okay.
Within a month, it was every weekend, and within a couple months, it was every day. Before school, during school, after school, then I stopped going to school.
You dropped out?
I didn't drop out, I just stopped going. I was 16, 15 to 16. I didn't have a job, and I was doing...
How did you afford the habit?
At least anywhere from $500 to $1,000
per week
worth of cocaine per week. Yeah. So how did I support that habit? Stealing, hanging out with family, friends. You got close enough, I was probably in your pocket. And I never stole jewelry or sold that. And the only thing that prevented me from that was I didn't know how to pawn something.
Okay.
And I didn't really feel like figuring it out. I wish I had a better excuse.
Okay, so you did because you did that. So if you knew how to pawn, you would.
I would have had,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So what would you steal?
Like I said, I would steal money.
You steal money.
I would steal
Have
something.
you stole from your mother?
Oh yeah. My mom started hiding her pocketbook. Like I started getting high alone. So this is like the difference between someone who's like, oh, I get high, and someone who's like, I am addicted. I don't want to hang out with anyone because I don't want to share.
Were you?
I was one of those at the end. Like, I don't want to share unless you're bringing more. Which in then that case, I'll use yours and keep mine. I'll hide mine. Really just grimy behaviors. Like there's no such thing as like a real friend when you're getting high, which is a twisted notion. I used to shoplift, take the clothing and sell it in the girls' gym locker room and get
so them
money.
girls is looking fly, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
and get money for
Those
drugs.
girls is looking real good.
And I would steal certain things that I wanted to wear because I felt like if you had a brand name on you, you looked like you had money, and I wanted to look like I had money. Even though I would put on these like nicer clothes, I wouldn't have showered sometimes for 5 days. For the simple fact that showering was not getting high, and it got in my way of getting high. I did a handful of pills. I couldn't tell you what they are. When I drank, I didn't drink a lot, but when I did drink, I blacked out. I pretty much drank when I couldn't get anything else.
Anything else?
Yeah. But all these things I was doing in between the getting high to get high again were grimy and like, yeah, kind of like when you first start getting high and you first start stealing, you have that flip in your stomach. And towards the end,
I'm about to steal from this person. Did you ever feel like?
Yeah, the adrenaline rush from this being scared, knowing I was doing something wrong, and then it turned into I don't even get that belly flip anymore. I don't feel guilty at all. Now I've stolen from my family. Now I've lied to my friends. Now I've hooked up with guys I should have never hooked up with because they had a girlfriend. Yeah.
Okay. Was it?
Another form of
what? Did you do it?
It's another form of getting high. It's getting attention, and when you're feeling so uncomfortable with yourself, you'll take any form of attention.
Did any of those guys love you?
Oh, absolutely not. There was a point I had to stop looking in the mirror. I hated everything about myself. I didn't like who I had become. Imagine, like, you don't like who you are, and now you've done 100 other bad things, so it's even worse. And those I call like flashes of reality. So what did I do when I felt that overwhelming sense of pain and hurt? I got high again. I ended up getting caught not going to school. I came home and my dad was so frustrated, he actually choked me. And my dad had never laid his hands on me. He was a really nice man. Even though I didn't like my parents at that time, like they weren't mean, abusive. And my sister got in between us and he hit her and pushed her out of the way. And it was the first time I saw in full force how my drug habit had affected my family members. They got a call from my school that I hadn't shown up in like 2 months straight. And I lived 3 blocks away from my school.
Okay.
So my parents were like, "Are you serious? Like, where do you go?
You know, like
I drop you off at school, you know?"
And I'm like, "You up?"
Yeah. I shut off my phone, and I went missing for 3.5 days. And I say it like that because I don't even really remember all of that time period. I remember bits and pieces. I remember waking up in Bushwick. I remember waking up in Jamaica. Shouldn't be there, you know. At my age, my look, you know, I was not meant to be in those neighborhoods. And the time, like 3, 4 in the morning. I ended up at an ex-boyfriend's house who was a drug dealer, really like scummy guy, always attracted to bad boys. They fed into my shit, you know. They didn't oh, that's bad for you, don't do that.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, let's do it together. Like, you know, so it wasn't like, it just fed into everything. And that's
Bonnie
the
and
thing.
Clyde,
You,
my road dog.
yeah, that's the thing. You surround yourself with people who aren't going to be like, Marcus, I want you to stop doing this. I love and care about you.
Yeah.
You're going to surround you like with people who are like, I'll help you steal that so we can get high together.
Yeah.
So I'm there for less than 5 minutes. The cops knock on the door because this place is always being watched by cops. And
How did they know?
Oh, because I was missing at that point. So
But how did they know to come to that house?
they were watching the house already,
Okay.
and then they always get notices of missing teenagers, and they were like, oh wait, that girl that just walked in there, she doesn't
So
belong
was your
here.
picture like on the walls?
I don't know if it was on the walls. I honestly never knew. I never found out.
Okay.
But this cop walks to the doorway, and he's like, are you Catherine? And I was like, yeah. And I hopped in his car, and I don't remember the ride from that house to my own home.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember feeling this kind of calmness and this kind of acceptance that it's here now that I change this,
Mm-hmm.
or it's done.
So was it then that you stopped right there?
Yes.
Did you go to a rehab? Or?
I did. I got home that day. My mom opened the door. Like I said, I didn't really have a relationship with my parents at this point, and she threw her arms around me. I hadn't hugged her back in 4 years.
So
And
that
I
was a
hugged her
moment.
back, and she was like, this is the best Mother's Day present you could have ever given me. And I looked at her, and I was like, I have no idea it's Mother's Day. I was so, listen, I was so caught up.
Oh, Sam.
I was so caught up in myself.
Okay.
I didn't care about anyone or anything, no holidays, no nothing. Like, if it wasn't about getting high, it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I could say while I was getting high, oh, it's my parents that caused this.
Mm-hmm.
And if I continued that notion now,
Mhm.
I would not be clean. Because until you take a look at yourself and your own actions and become accountable, you're not going to grow. Nice doing business
That's a
with
quote.
you.
that's a quote right there. So after
I went to rehab.
You went to rehab. At your request or their request or?
They said, we'll send you to an outpatient. I admitted all the drugs I had done, where I had been, as much as I remembered.
Mhm.
And I was like, I need to get out of here and get help. I was physically addicted at that point. I was surrounded by a bunch of bad people that I had handpicked to be part of a bad crew. And I didn't feel safe in my own skin, in my own home. I didn't.
Temptations was everywhere.
Absolutely. And my parents were like, we'll send you to an outpatient. And I said, I already know how to fake a piss test, and I've never been in an outpatient because so many people I hung out with were involved in these things, and like who was taking pee from someone else. Like, I already knew it, and I was like, that's not, it's just not going to help me. I was like, I need to go away.
So out of rehab, did you relapse or no?
No, actually, I never picked up again. I was admitted on June 7, 2006, and I was there 15 months. My parents would come in for therapeutic sessions once in a while. They really worked with me. They were really just like, how
So
can we
they never
help
gave
you?
up on you?
They never gave up on me,
Wow.
thank God. And
Shout out to the parents.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, mom and dad. I don't steal. I don't cheat now. I have cheated on boyfriends since I've been clean.
Okay.
I will admit that, but I mean like academically.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I'm still working on
Okay.
things.
Okay. Okay.
I've never stolen again. I have given my parents that money back.
You have.
Yeah, I was stealing money from my grandma at one point. I admitted it to her. I paid for lunches.
She's forgiving you.
She forgave me. She's an angel. We spend a lot of time
have you
together
smoked?
now. Cigarettes. So I have not drank alcohol. I have not smoked weed, and I have not done
Do you think you
blower
would ever
pills.
go back?
You know, I don't like to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to say, no, I will never go back. I would love to say that. I'm excited for myself today.
Okay, I'm excited. Cause you're excited. Like, we both excited. I'm excited because the cameraman is excited. I'm excited for these chairs, even though they could have swept it, you know. They really could have swept it.
Now I'm an A student.
Wow.
Yeah. Listen, I go to school today. I have a job. My employer loves me. I have a job that I show up to every day. Like I got one
You're a
job
real
when I was
woman.
getting high.
Okay.
I showed up for a week, got paid, and never went back. That's
Well, we won't say the name of the company. We
no,
won't say that.
no.
We won't say that.
I owe them an amends.
Okay.
Absolutely. Tell my story the way it is, and my hope is that when I'm honest like this, someone else can be honest. Addicts are suffering from a mental illness. Their last intention at heart, at the core, is never to really hurt someone. I can't speak for everyone, but I can say in my own instances, maybe in the moment I'm like, I don't care about my parents, I don't care if I steal, I lie, whatever, I don't care about them. But in my core, I did care somewhere.
Was there ever times where you would just break down and cry? Like in
Usually when I was crashing from coke.
But I'm just trying to figure out, and I think the world can remain insecure about what? Like you said, physically, what? Like now, are you going through any insecurities now?
I mean, I'm a woman, so yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Do you think you're a pretty girl?
I do today. I do think I'm pretty.
I am Marcus Ward, and this is
Catherine.
And this is the Marcus Ward Show. Thank you for tuning in.